Hi, I'm Richard Randall, and welcome to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker, the owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. This is the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate with Colorado's real estate authority, that is Barb Schlinker. Barb is an author, Barb's a pilot, and Barb enjoys all that Colorado has to offer with her amazing team. Barb, always great to be talking with you. Now, we air the Your Real Estate Voice show every Saturday, and if you can't listen to the entire show, it's always available on Barb's site, barbhasthebuyers.com. That's barbhasthebuyers.com, or just go ahead and search Barb and most of the popular podcast platforms like iHeartRadio, all of the other ones. Every week, the Real Estate Voice covers great information about people's primary assets, that is your home. So Barb, what will we be talking about today?
Well, Richard, I'm excited because we've been doing some research and we've been posting a lot of informational videos online on my YouTube channel, Barb Has the Buyers, just to find out kind of what topics people are interested in. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. My biggest views on the videos that I put out are these topics that we're discussing today. The first one is why picking the wrong agent when selling your home can be very costly. We'll go into detail about that. And then the next topic is really about pricing your home correctly, but the title that got the most views by far was the statement that I made that said, it's a myth that Zillow, I'm sorry, let me say that again. The video that got the most views on the pricing topic was the title, it's a myth that Zillow knows how much your home is worth. That one, for some reason, got a lot of attention because many times we actually ask home sellers, so what do you think your home is worth? And they always say, Zillow says X, but is it right or not? I think there's kind of a doubt in people's mind as to whether or not it's correct. So we'll go into detail about that. We're also going to talk about a checklist to get your home ready for sale. It's also a big question that I get from home sellers. What do I do? What do I not do to get my home ready for sale? Let me give you an example. I put a home on the market this week, and really pretty home, beautiful kitchen, and she's wanting it to be perfect. And she said, should I replace the refrigerator because it sticks out into the kitchen by about 8 inches? Shouldn't I go out and buy one of those counter depth refrigerators? Plus, it has a couple dents in it. And I'm like, no, don't do that, because first of all, refrigerators and washer and dryers are considered personal property. What that means is that an appraiser gives you about $150 of value for each, and it's a present to the buyer. So no, I wouldn't go out and spend $3,000 on a new counter depth refrigerator just to make it look slightly more pleasing. It's not going to matter. And the last topic we're going to talk about is for buyers. It's about how to get the perfect home when you buy your next home. And of course, we'll be covering our hot new listings. Richard?
Barb, we know there are tens of thousands of real estate agents in the area. Why is it so important to make sure they avoid picking the wrong agent when it's time to sell your home?
Well, Richard, I did some research and I discovered that the average home seller in the area moves every 6 to 18 years. That's the average. So that's a long time. People don't do this very often. It's not on their mind if they're busy with other things. So when it is time to sell, what happens a lot is they might go back to the agent that sold them the home. And many of them don't put a lot of thought into picking the right agent to handle one of their largest assets. And if you make mistakes on this, it can cost you thousands of dollars. Imagine picking your next home out. You've got your home on the market, but you can't buy it because your home isn't sold. We are still in a seller's market. Your home should be sold if all the stars align and you pick the right agent. But I see it happening over and over again, that people pick they make bad choices on who's going to handle the sale, and they run into issues. And right now, it's the perfect time to sell. It's the selling season. Spring through summer is the best time. So if you pick badly and miss the selling season, it absolutely can be costly because a lot of the buyers are out in the summertime. A lot of people want to move when school is out, that sort of thing. And it's starting right now. And pricing do-overs are another problem. So I recently met with a seller and she felt like she actually had it listed before and it was on the market, and they had some really bad marketing. So they slowly walked the price down, finally got a contract, and the contract fell apart. And so her question was, well, can't I raise the price when I list with you? I'm like, well, you can, but the problem is Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, they all show the history. They put it all out there online for the buyers to see. So the next question would be from either the buyer or from agents is, well, what did they do to raise the price? How did it change? Why should I bring my buyer out to see your home? The number two reason why choosing the wrong agent can be very costly is if you don't have good communication. Good communication is absolutely important because you want to know the feedback. You want to know what are people saying about the home. Now, if you're getting a bunch of offers, that's feedback. It's really good feedback. But if you're getting the volume of showings is a version of feedback. The feedback on what happened on the showings is a version of feedback because the seller needs to know if it's not selling, where do they go next? So knowing what the feedback is something that can be very, very costly. I recently was talking with a home seller of mine that listed in another state and an agent convinced them to price it too high. Well, they kind of knew that. They knew it was priced too high. And sure enough, it stayed on the market, went all the way through the winter. It did not sell. And, they ended up having to change to another real estate agent, but they lost all that time. And they probably lost potential buyer that would have made an offer back 6 months ago. The number three reason for choosing the wrong agent can be very costly is that if they promise a selling price that's far from reality, and this is something I see happen all the time, the agents will go, yeah, I'll whatever price you want, I'll put it on the market, right? Because there are far more agents than there are sales. So they will do anything to get a client to sign on the bottom line, right? So let's say, oh, yeah, I'll get you, $500,000 for your house when it's only worth 250 or something like that, or 350. That's a problem because the buyers are finding other homes in that price range that are a better buy. So it sits on the market, there's no showings. So when they do that, it actually hurts you. We want to get you the most money when you sell your home. The number four reason why choosing the wrong agent can be costly is the ones that promise you a speed of sale that's far from reality. So what is reality right now? It depends on where you are. Up in the Denver metro area, it's still a pretty quick market. The average days on market are about 11 days. Colorado Springs is about 48 days. So it's a little bit different. But when you go out and talk to an agent, you want to ask them, what is their average days on market? It depends on what area you're in. So my name is Barb Schlinker. I'm with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. I'm the host of this show entitled Your Real Estate Voice. And we're talking about what home sellers should be getting from their agent and why picking the wrong agent can be very costly. And some things that we're going to go into shortly are some things that you can watch out for and what you can actually do about it. So if you are thinking of making a move in the next 3 to 6 months and you need some help in a shifting market, even though it's cooled off from the crazy boom, it's still a good market, okay? Right now, the median prices have corrected. So the median price for the metro area has gone down from the boom about 6%. And in the Colorado Springs area, it's corrected about 9%. So if you hire an agent that says, oh, your home is worth what it was last April, it's not going to work because buyers are finding better things on the market in the price range right now. the rates are still pretty moderate. You know, a 30-year conventional is in the mid sixes. The FHA and VA loans are low sixes or upper fives. And many times you can work deals with the lender to buy down the interest rates. So if you are thinking of making a move, we have thousands and thousands of buyers in waiting. You can go to barbhasthebuyers.com and click on Find My Buyer. Or if you'd like to know about some questions about how to interview an agent, we have this great report on there. Go to Barb Has the Buyers, click on Free Reports. It's a green button, and you can download the 10 questions you must ask when you hire an agent. Richard?
Barb, we're discussing why picking the wrong agent to sell can be so very costly. What are some other issues that home sellers should be watching out for when they're selecting an agent?
Well, Richard, the number 5 reason choosing the wrong agent can be costly is improper marketing. This is so huge. You would not believe what people are eliminating homes over. And it starts with the online presentation. And if you don't get that right, you have less than a minute to make an impression, and they are just moving on. 88% of the buyers eliminate homes based on the online photos. They won't even do a drive-by if they don't like the pictures. So that absolutely has to be right. I met with a seller recently, and I looked at her pictures before she later hired me. And there was just some weird, like she did some drywall repair, but in the photos, it made it look like there was a ceiling leak. And so buyers would have passed it by. Now, how do I know they're passing it by? Is that years ago, 1,000 years ago, when I first started in real estate back in the 90s, a typical buyer would go get with an agent, and the agent would take them around, and they would have to physically look at over 40 homes to make a decision. Now they're looking at 1 to 5 before they're making a decision. You also want to hire an agent that knows how to negotiate. That's absolutely critical. Just last weekend, we had multiple offers on one of our $1 million listings in just a few days, which was amazing. And these agents kept calling, going, what do I do to get the house? And I'm like, make your best offer. And of course they didn't. And then they were whining afterwards. But, you know, we need to know, a good agent will know what the competition is and be able to position it with their buyers if that's what they want to get the house. Unfortunately, most agents kind of use the opportunity to meet a buyer by showing a home. We call those Pop-Tart agents. They pop out of the toaster and show up in the house and hope it works out. You don't want that. So that's part of what we do, is we protect our home sellers from unnecessary, unqualified showings and make sure that they only get qualified buyers through their home. That way, they're only focused their time on people that can play, have the ability to buy, and want to buy a home, just like theirs. So if you are thinking of making a move in the next 3 to 6 months, give us a call at 719-301-3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And if you're thinking of making a move, call Barb at 719-301-3900 or just visit barbhasthebuyers.com. That's barbhasthebuyers.com. A short break. When we come back, we'll be talking about it's a myth that Zillow knows how much your home is worth. It's important to understand that. We'll talk about it when we come back.